What did I just hit? You need to go away. Go away. I don't know how to get out of that. So I can't see my chat comment. There's the comments. Hey, let me put a link in and Betty. Look at y'all. Hey, how are y'all doing this evening? There's the link if anybody wants to join. Of course, you're welcome on my channel, Betty. My goodness. Hi, John. Thank you, John. I'm not showing my face because I have to be in my room, and I just don't feel that's right. So, how's everybody doing? Awesome. Y'all have a lot of questions after Liberty Warrior like I do. I'm more confused than I was. Crazy. Hey, Craig. How you doing? Oh, there's Anna.
Hi, boo, 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 boo.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good. Got a little rest in finally after the dogs having me up all night last night.
Oh no.
Yeah, a little cat nap this afternoon helped. How are you doing? Think you're on the phone. Should I
I feel
just
like I'm getting sick again, and I'm really mad about that because I was getting over it, and I think sitting outside in the cold air last night didn't help.
Yeah, I know myself too, but with my smoking, being up all night doesn't help because I can become kind of a chain smoker when I'm trying to keep the house quiet.
Right? Here comes the raid. Doomsday. I appreciate all of y'all coming over here. That's awesome.
Wow, Craig, John, Betty,
I
David,
know.
Barb, Garrett, Victor. Hi, everybody.
They found us.
Yay. I thought they would. Well, I never did get my chance to get dressed up as Robert last night. I was going to use some mascara. I put it on my cheeks and everything, kind of put in that beard mustache look a little bit with a little bit of mascara. I've done that in the past and dressed up like guys before that I know, and I did such a good job a few times that people had to do a double take.
Right? I know. I have a picture of me and my mother at a something for Halloween, and I was dressed like a hobo. Well, she kind of was too, but in her square dance outfit. I don't know, but people were like, "Are y'all sisters?" Because I really looked grungy. Mm, excuse
Oh, we
me.
both coughed at the same time. We used
Yeah,
to always say
I'm
Coke
getting a
whenever we
home.
would say something at the same time, and then she had to buy me a Coke. I think
I'm
I
trying
go
to
for
haul, see if I can keep my voice. Hmm. So, you notice, do you notice that, like, all this stuff that's being said, and I didn't hear one thing about the border? I'm telling you, I really think that that's where the war is going to be. Is that crazy?
I don't. I think anything's possible at this time, you know.
I
But
know, right?
the legitimate point is, when all of this crud that's going on, there's a lot of things not being brought up, a lot of attention going in places like they were saying on the other program we were on earlier tonight. Yeah, why aren't they talking about certain things now? Like right now, there's everything that came out about the Wisconsin thing and the possibility of decertification and everything. I spent my day trying to call all kinds of representatives. I didn't care if they were even for my county or my representative. I was trying to call all of them. Only one
Hmm.
office answered, and it was a Democrat one. And I just said, oops, I have the wrong number.
Wow.
Not one of them. And none of them were taking messages. They were saying, you can contact us through email. So, what does that do for people that don't do that and that are elderly, people that don't have access to that? They weren't even taking numbers.
Right.
They were just saying, you can contact us through email.
Oh, I have sent so many emails to representatives and never have I gotten a response. Of course, I get a text 2 or 3 times a day on my phone to uh, donate to Abbott, but it's like, no, I want you to answer me.
Exactly.
Not donating, not
Well,
sending
that's
you any
that's
money.
something I want cleared up because I will be sending out emails tomorrow. I'm going to let them know I want to know where I can check daily on what they're doing as my representative. I want to know what they are up to and what they're doing about certain things that are important to me because I feel as though with them being my representative, um, I should have access and ability to know that they are doing something and be able to check on it daily. They need to answer to me.
Do you feel that that really works, though?
Hey, I don't give a crap. I'm going to hound and hound and hound.
There
I'm going to make noise, man.
you go.
And I'm going to keep them reminded who they work for.
That's what I'm afraid of too, David. Kinda, yeah. And Victor, I'm all for playing a game, but I don't know how to put a word up there. Chi-Chi's gonna have to teach me these things.
Oh, how to put a word up?
Yeah. I have
Yeah,
no
I
clue.
think you can
He's
only do
asking
that
for
on.
them.
I think you can only do that on a computer. We'll have to come up with something for your channel. She does the word game. We'll have to come up with one here
I
that's a little
know.
different or something. That'd be fun.
Yes.
Any suggestions, people? Hi, Pappy.
Hi, Pappy. David, that's just it. We've already been infiltrated for years, ever since 44. Yeah.
Well, I remember
Um,
my grandma being called crazy by my stepmom when she was going off about people coming up from Cuba years ago when I was first married. Um, and how alarmed she was by the information that she was putting out. And back then, the conspiracy theorist thing wasn't really applied to somebody. She was just called crazy or losing her mind.
shoot. Sorry.
Whoop, what
Damn it.
was that?
A child abduction. Sorry, y'all.
Was that an alarm or what?
It's that Amber Alert on my phone.
Oh,
Anytime there's a silver alert, amber alert, blue alert, my phone will go off like that.
mine does too. I'm thankful we don't have many of
And
them in Wisconsin, but it doesn't mean that there isn't
yeah,
something going on.
we don't have a lot usually, but it never fails when I'm on a channel. It goes off and gives everybody a heart attack.
Ooh, I named that tune.
Sorry.
If I could carry a tune better and she wouldn't get in trouble for
Yeah,
playing that would be cool.
it's probably the only thing.
I
Um,
remember that show.
you
I
know what?
loved it.
I did too. And it used to, I could just do it like two or three notes, and I knew it. And I've lost that. But
Oh, me too. I would
my
probably
daughter
remember the tune,
today,
but not be able to name it.
the
Go ahead.
timer for the brownies went off. Yeah, I wish. um, today my daughter, we were just talking, and she said that uh, she just looked up about pedophiles because I was telling her kind of what went on last night because I rewatched it this morning, and I did not realize how evil that evil was in there. But um, so she was telling me, she said, "Mom, look, Texas is number one in the most pedophiles." And I was like, "What?" And sure enough, Texas is number one. I never would have thought that. I said, "Where's Illinois?" With Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know where you would expect it to be the most, but I was just really shocked that it was Texas,
Yeah, I would
kind
think
of.
it would be like some. Well, I don't know the population difference, but I guess
Well,
when
I
you
know we're
consider
big.
the fact
But
that there's so much ability to and so much going back and forth from country and the activity that comes across and everything and that's a big drive through state too.
yes,
Big vacation
well,
area.
now it is. They're
Yeah.
running through, driving through, they're doing everything.
Fly over.
Right?
Got that right.
That's what I keep telling my foreign friends. I have friends in Sweden, and they have been trying so hard to get a visa to move here. And I told them, just go to Mexico. You're
Come
in.
to Mexico. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I could say some things about that, but I'd probably get in trouble and get a lot of flack for it.
I know, I know. I know I shouldn't have the attitude I do, but um, when I see all the homeless and when I see the veterans, in front of the stores with a cup, or it just, mm,
It bothers
I
me
can't
in the
help it.
aspect too. If we can't take care of our own, what are we doing inviting others to be taken care of and then I'm pawning it off, saying that it's someone else's fault when they're the ones doing the invite?
Yes, and now wanting to pay them. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What have we come
Hey,
to?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Better now. I don't know how my signal is going to hold up, but I figured I'd pop up and say hi. We are like we got completely kicked out of YouTube all the way. It's weird. Nothing would
what?
play.
Oh
Nothing
no.
would load. We restarted everything and it still wouldn't do it. I don't know. I don't know. Hmm.
Strange.
My goodness.
So how are you
Well,
guys doing tonight?
maybe I had to figure out a backup channel.
Yeah, have you done that, Heather? Have you put on a backup channel just in case?
No, I have
No.
not. No.
We'll just
Um.
have to bombard Bonnie. Bonnie, you have people that want to come see you.
Excuse me. Well, and that's I felt bad today because Jeff Riddle, when I was in there, and then everybody was like, "Where can we go now?" And uh, I don't know what they were saying, and I was just kind of, nobody comes to my channel,
What happened to
but
Monty
y'all
backing
are
up everybody?
y'all are my y'all are my definite. I know y'all are here. I did not mean that in a bad way. And
No, you meant that as a
um,
compliment, and it was taken as such.
so Jeff had me put my channel on, and so here's all these wonderful people that have come over here tonight.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And we
And
don't cover the
we
same stuff here that they do there.
no,
I
not
just
really. No,
went off on a little different course today. I just kind of decided to start studying some more symbology, and I started with stuff that was in the Vatican. So that was pretty interesting to me.
Hmm.
oh
Are
wow.
you feeling better than you did this afternoon?
Oh yeah,
Good,
yeah.
hon.
I got my roommate says, "Hey, just go lay down and close your bedroom door. I'll take care of the doggies." The one little one my older one last night, she was like just pathetic. I think she was feeling the same aches and pains that I was, and a couple of them were. And then the well, second from the youngest one, the little chihuahua I showed you last night. Well, Judy used to be a vet, and I'm like, something's really going on with her. So she started feeling around on her, and she's like, oh my gosh, her hip is out, and she couldn't get it back in, so we're going to have to take her in. And then she was feeling around on her back, and she said, I think she has a back injury too. See, she started acting like that after we went to town the other day, and the little turd will go up on the back of the couch. She can jump really high and get up on high things, even though she's so little. She gets up in that window. Well, when you got the big dogs up there trying to get in the window, then she gets bumped around pretty easy. She's just a tiny little thing, you know.
Yeah.
So she might have took a tumble.
Aw, poor girl.
So she
Well, I
gets to
hope
go to
everything
the-
works out.
Yeah, she gets to go to doggy doctor, but she is eating. That's a good thing, eating and drinking.
That is good.
She didn't do it for 4 days.
Sorry, I gotta grab some more coffee real quick.
Oh, no problem. I'm gonna pump out for just a second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get something to drink. I need a tall glass of water.
So what did I call this one?
What's that? You called this one. Did I miss it?
I'm just. I'm sorry.
What
I'm
were you
talking
wondering if you missed?
I was wondering what the title of this was. Because
Yeah, 11:01. Did I miss it?
yeah, that's it. Did I miss it?
What's the it?
I missed something.
Well, then it must have flew right over my head. Usually, things that are supposed to fly over your head smack me in the forehead, and knock me over. But it must have actually made it over my head.
Well, that's everything's been flying over my head today. My brain has not been functioning since last night, and
Oh, you look gorgeous
to
last night. By
rewatch
the way.
that. Thank you. But I am just shocked at that thing that was in there before I got on Gigi's, and I'm calling it a thing because that was like
Definitely an entity of some sort.
Yeah.
You're probably right about that.
Yeah.
Or possessed by an
total
entity of some
evil.
sort. That was. And I
Yes.
only heard like a
He
blip
was-
of it.
We were like,
I only
gone.
heard a tiny blip of it, and my signal went out, and then it wouldn't let me back in the back room. And then Robert was like, "I was waiting for you to get him," and I was like, "Well, I probably would have if I'd have been allowed to get back in." But
Yeah.
that's what I was talking about earlier today. It seems like every time I'm about to be a hothead, right, and a no filter on my mouth or something, and it's like my signal completely drops out. I'm not allowed to do it or say it, or like that's probably a
Well-
good thing. I gotta accept that as a blessing. Somebody is watching over me.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
having a hard
so-
time having a
Well-
filter today myself.
But that's what happened last night. It's like everything kept holding me up where I was late. And when I got on panel, it disappeared. And so I kind of caught the last words. And so this morning I rewatched Gigi's stream just to hear what was being said before I got on there. And no, that was total pure evil. He was sitting there saying what he did. And
Ugh. All I heard was something
And-
about blood, and I was like, "This guy is here to start crap. He sees an opening. He thinks it's a weakness." That's what I was
I
thinking.
don't
But
know,
then
but
we didn't get to hear everything that he had said either. So is
Hi,
that Shep?
Shep, how are
Hey, Shep.
you? Yes.
I'm a fan of your work.
May I come up?
Hey,
I wasn't sure.
yes,
Shep.
of course.
I think that Gigi did an awesome job of not feeding into the conversation that he was trying to bring her into.
Right on.
Yeah, but I said that was a total divine intervention because it's like when I entered, he disappeared.
Yeah.
It disappeared, whatever it was,
That's
and
awesome.
I was just like, that was just too weird.
Hey, can I ask you something,
God
Shep?
bless this channel and don't let any evil in, please.
Sure,
There
of
you go.
course. Heather. Yeah.
Shepherd of the Forest. She's
really?
Yes.
she's a researcher, and I know she's a researcher because I looked at her research. So I get tickled when I get to talk to her, which isn't very often. Have you ever read any of Paul Wallace's work?
I have not. I don't even know who that is. Nope.
Okay.
I'm not much of a researcher, Heather.
Well, all those books and
I
stuff
just
that
go
you
down rabbit holes. That's what I do.
Oh,
And I try to find
Well-
for information that would dispute what I'm looking at. And so far, I haven't been able to find anything that debunks it or whatever. So,
yeah, you got to go. Oh boy, I'll tell you what, they really did a good job on the wrapping paper. That's all I'll say.
yeah, I know. There's a lot
There's a
of
whole
stuff going.
tape on that wrapping
You know,
paper.
there's so much disinformation. I found out tonight, I don't know who the people are. I mean, you could be that person, Heather, but there's people on, it's not you, Heather, I don't think, but there's people, big platforms on YouTube that are working.
Oh
for
yeah,
this.
definitely not me.
And they are they've been specially picked to put out disinformation. So we
I
don't know
believe
who
that.
they are, but
Right.
We have our suspicions.
discernment is extremely important right now. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
just what I do is I take everything with a grain of salt. I laugh it off. If it comes
Yep.
true, then okay, I'll accept it. But, you know, like all the dead people are alive and all the alive people are dead.
Mm-hmm. When Mike was talking about that earlier this evening,
Oh,
I had
I
put
wasn't
it there.
for much of it, but I only caught the
Yeah,
last.
he had talked about it as, and like, okay, so if so and so walks out on the stage and he's alive, what the heck does that do for me? And I was like, I don't think it's for the people who have their eyes open. I think it's for the people that don't have their eyes open to say, well, if they lied to us about that, then what else have they lied to us about? Because really, isn't that the question we need to have answered?
Thing. Yeah. You know, I was 58. So 5, I don't think, when JFK was assassinated.
Yeah, we don't know.
It would mean a lot to the legacy. Sorry, start. I see it. Okay. I mean, if
Uh-oh.
it's so, I mean,
We need to refresh.
wow. If it's not true, well, I'm not going to be any more disappointed than I've already been for 60 years.
Right.
You know,
True.
it's funny. I went down some of those same rabbit holes that you've gone down, and I found a whole bunch of information before any of this was popular for people.
Yeah, that,
I knew about the patent and had read the patent years before that they had even come out with that
yeah.
pandemic. So,
You know what?
like, none of that stuff really surprised me, but it got to a point where I knew that it was for me, it was all surface stuff. And that's what I call it. I call it surface stuff.
Yeah,
It's the
I
wrapping
know.
paper. You got to
I know.
get to the box to see what's inside.
It wasn't until I started reading the latest series of books that I've gone back in history to realize that this has gone on since man has been on Earth.
Oh, you can't see me, but I'm cheersing you with my coffee cup. Cheers. That's a toast.
Cheers.
You guys would be pleasantly surprised about something that I did today. As to the response I was getting, and I had they have that, what was that, Rittenhouse boy, that
Oh, yeah.
young man that did the shooting in Wisconsin, you know.
Yeah.
They had the court thing live today and a chat going, and there were a lot of different responses going on in there, and I started putting responses in according to constitutional law, gun rights, our right to bear arms, and that we constitutionally are allowed to carry the weapons that our military does according to the Constitution. And yes, it doesn't matter that he crossed the border with a weapon or whatever. He had the right to use a weapon to protect himself. You know, I started giving out little tidbits of things that I've been learning and picking up now that I'm studying a little bit and picking things up here and there. So, you know, that admiration for and searching for a little bit of fact about law and everything else, I was able to put in there some of the people that hold more authority than the judge. And people were starting to ask questions. So it was fun for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Awesome.
That
Good.
is.
Yep.
You know what I
Just
was
gets
going to
more
say?
aware.
You know what I'm getting tired of? I'm getting tired of I'm right and you're wrong and I'm right, and I disagree, and
Yeah.
that's a lie, and
Yep. Yep.
he's not coming back, and there's no plan, and yes, there is a plan, and all that. So I'm just
Just
Yeah.
Let
I'm with
Yeah.
you.
roll.
I don't.
just live your
You know?
reality, because you're just it's so frustrating.
And you know what? I kind of even
Yes.
wonder how I would feel if he came back, because I'm sorry, you deserted us. If he could have done something all this time, I think I would be a little upset with him.
Well, then you might be upset.
that was a question I asked a while back.
Yeah.
Well, here's my
Exactly.
question. Everybody talking about him having this behind the scene powers,
Mhm.
and he said at his first rally in Ohio, he said it had to get this bad.
Mhm.
You guys had to see it get this bad. Now it's gotten incrementally worse. I mean, measurably worse just since
know
that
what?
time. So
I heard
and
tonight. Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
for me, he's a man. He's another man, right?
Yeah.
We're all human beings, right? So Pastor, I'm not judging him, but if you did indeed have that power, and all these people further, you know, have died from all this heinousness, I'll just call it that because we all know what that encompasses, right?
Mhm.
So if he had that power, why would we trust that?
Well, my
And
thoughts,
it's
I
an honest
believe,
question.
my belief is that he doesn't have that power. My belief is the military is in charge, and it's up to them.
So they're both frauds as well.
That's all.
Yeah.
I vote
when-
fraud.
Involved.
So as far as why nothing has happened, I'd like to know. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, here's a question that it was asked. And this is back when we first came into Liberty Warrior Nation, and he had asked, and I told him, I said, well, you got to think. I said, even though he's not president anymore, if this situation was to go in the way that it was supposed to go constitutionally, then therefore he is not president anymore, but he stepped
Right.
down to, what's that called, commander-in-chief. And then once commander-in-chief relieves the situation to the military, then
Yes.
he's under military control. And that's
Yeah.
the point that if, as long as you understand the
Finite.
the finites of it,
Mhm.
you understand that yes, his hands could be tied up to a certain, or he can do certain things up to a certain point, and then his hands are tied after that. It's not his decision.
Right. I believe that. That's where I have always
And
been at on that. I've never
well,
thought
I mean,
that he
I
was
always try to.
directing anything. Not really.
Okay.
I mean, he might give it.
Well,
advice,
and you
might
know
have
that was always my
recommendations.
question. Like, why would
Right, and giving
exactly,
personal,
but not in charge.
but not in charge. Exactly.
And when people talk about that, I always ask that question though, because it's important that we think critically about these things and not just follow people blindly anymore. That's how we got into this mess, right? So it's
Right.
like, just at least use your head. I'm not against him,
Nope.
but he is just a man, just
Yep,
like the rest
you can
of us.
only do so
Yeah.
much.
So what else was I going to say? I was going to say
Sorry.
something else.
My bad.
Dang nabbit, I forgot. Oh, I know what it was. For me personally, this doesn't change until the world changes. And so the fact that you can see changes around the world is very helpful. And knowing, where he went and who he talked to in those first, 30 days.
Yep.
So I am hopeful.
I know.
Because I don't want
know if you
to
guys
feed
are
the
to point
negativity
where-
machine.
I don't know if you guys are to the point where you feel in your heart that you know. When you know, you know. I just know.
Yeah.
And
it's-
Oh, yeah,
everybody heard
It's
that
all
before.
coming. It's going to all come out good.
But I think
Yep.
it's going to all come out good.
There
yes. No food
Yes.
shortages, no border crisis, no jabbing. It'll all be taken care of.
No,
I have faith.
exactly.
I've been living in my faith like this for I don't know how long. It's just
It's
That's
not.
all we
Yeah,
can
it's
do.
not much longer. I don't.
Yeah.
wearing.
I really
I've
don't. I think it's coming to a head too.
Yeah, because we've had a couple of dreams ourselves that just kind of make that answer. And it's over.
Hey,
It's
Nicole.
now
Right.
Excuse me,
things
y'all.
that people got to
Heather,
take care of.
may I ask you a question? How do
Absolutely.
I make someone a mod?
You have to go onto your YouTube, into the chat, and then you can. There should be 3 little dots beside it, and only you can do it. And it'll say "Add Moderator" as one of your options.
It only says put user in timeout or block user.
Are you in
I don't
StreamYard
wanna do
looking
that.
at the user?
Yeah,
Are
you
you in
must be in StreamYard.
You have to go onto
No,
your
I'm
YouTube
on-
channel.
We're
Where
on
the
the
chat's live
YouTube
and
channel.
Okay. Are you seeing the interface of StreamYard?
Up in the top left. Oh,
Okay,
on
so
the screen
have-
where we're at.
Do you have? Yeah, you have 2 tabs open.
No,
So you just have the StreamYard tab then.
right. I connected from StreamYard
Okay.
to
Okay.
YouTube.
you have to open a YouTube
You have-
tab
Yeah.
and pull up your show.
Yep.
And do it on
Oh.
the YouTube platform. Yeah.
Yeah. You're
It's
on.
okay.
Yep. You're on
You had to
StreamYard
learn too.
platform here, and then once you open that tab up, then you'll be on the YouTube platform. And yeah, just like you do to go hide somebody when you're in YouTube, just in there. Now that since you're the channel moderator or channel master, it'll actually give you the option as making somebody a moderator
Oh,
as well.
okay, Robert, you are now. I just
I
figured out I could do it on
got
my phone.
voting today on YouTube.
Hi, that's
What'd you say?
hi, Nicole.
Sorry.
Melissa.
Barb,
I got a first warning today on one of my
Robert,
YouTubes.
everybody.
Really?
Ooh.
What'd you do?
I was bullying and harassing and
Oh, for heaven's sake.
terrible things to happen to all these good people like Bill
Samaritans.
Gates, and the Vatican.
Shepherd of the apocalypse. I like it. It has a good ring to it. I'm just picking,
So
hun. I'm just
YouTube
picking.
gave me a strict warning that I can't bully those good people. They took off
You better not. You better not, lady.
Linwood.
You better not say anything to hurt anybody's feelings. And in that case, you should just stand up there and
I
mine.
mean, you're not being bullied though,
I
right?
just, I said to my husband, you got to listen to this. So he watched it, and I said, it's true, and I think he maybe started listening a little bit about that. But then later I came out of my office and I said, they gave me a warning and took down the video, so it must be true.
Oh,
It was
and they
Linwood.
took
He
the
was
video
up on the
down.
stage telling everybody about the Queen and everybody else,
Oh well.
Yeah. And I also
Oh,
get
my
comments
goodness.
now and then, and I've had to remove them. Why are you putting this crap out? It's a lying a-hole and all this stuff. It's like,
It's only
And that's when you go, why are you here
okay
watching it?
Yeah,
It's only
exactly.
okay for them to call false witness on others. It's only okay for them to, call people names and belittle everybody. It's not okay for the right or people that are trying to put out truth to have a grudge or say anything, that might be in a emotional moment or in the heat of a moment. It's just not okay for us to do that.
no, it isn't.
Do you
Well,
have a
it
backup
is.
channel just in case, Shep?
I have it, but I haven't created a channel yet. I
Okay.
mean, I have an ID with a email, but I don't. Yeah, so I'll just.
You haven't done it
create
yet.
Thank
Oh,
you,
cool.
Robert.
And you know what? I
Anna,
backed
you
up
asked
all
me
my
that earlier.
videos, so I
Go
have
ahead,
them
hon.
all on. I have all my videos on an external drive. So if they brought my channel down, I have them all.
You're good.
Yeah.
Right on.
That's what I like about StreamYard.
Well, Anna asked me that earlier, and I said no. We don't have an alternative YouTube channel set up, just our neck of the woods.
Which
But
we will here soon.
we have, we do post all of our videos from that we do over on YouTube. That Zachary Smouse, Patriot Brothers, that he was working on. So we go over there as well. Our stuff goes over there on
well,
YouTube.
that's good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I do have a Gab TV. I guess I could upload there. I just never have. It's just one of
Yeah.
those things.
Well,
I'm just trying to
yeah,
get
I've
to
got
as many
Gab,
people
too.
as possible.
we
Thank
I
you,
just
Kathy.
have-
It's done.
hold off.
I just wish people would start believing it instead of just all this calling everybody liars without looking into anything. It just drives me nuts. I guess it's
Well,
because
that's-
I'm from analytical, left side mentality. Shouldn't be, but
It's always easier to, throw a rock from a place that you can't really, no one can reach you from. I mean, if you had to stand right in front of somebody and their person right next to you and call them out or whatever, what would you really say? Would you be that disrespectful to somebody?
true. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if they would be. I know I wouldn't be. Who knows these days?
And I want everybody to have an open mind here and discuss whatever we want to, but I don't want people attacking each other. I don't want it to turn into a
Absolutely not.
A
SS.
Friday night free for all.
Yeah, Friday
Yeah.
night free for all. Yeah.
That's
Thank
probably
goodness
a good
it's
house.
Monday night. Monday night football's on in my house.
Yeah.
No, not this one.
You know what I told him yesterday? Oh, it's all a hoax anyway, so it doesn't really matter if you watch it.
And that's what I was going to say. We're all deplorables. We're all conspiracy theorists. We're all terrorists, whatever.
Bonnie, did you say your children, your kids say that?
No.
Oh,
I'm just saying that's what they try to label us with everything.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
just let it bounce off of you and go on. It's not.
Oh yeah. They don't even have good adhesive, so you gotta let that
Yeah.
stuff go.
Yeah.
I've
No.
had my buttons triggered a couple times. Oh, absolutely. Um,
No, my brother calls me a conspiracy theorist, though. He really does,
I think the worst argument
and
I
he's
ever
all.
had about all this was with my son. So, yeah, that was not good. But we've worked it out since. We disagree, but we worked it out.
Well, I like to say that, in the label of being a conspiracy theorist, at least I'm not a conformist.
Right.
That and it's conspiracy today and real in the 6 months, and I bet you it's less than that now.
Oh, yeah. How about maybe 6 hours?
Yeah.
Well, all I got to say about
That
that
would
is
be
everybody
preferable.
talks about the difference
Yeah.
between theory and fact on conspiracies is 6 months, but David Icke's been talking about this stuff for 40 years,
40 years.
and nobody's listened to him. Well, some people listen
Yeah.
to him. I've been
You've been
wearing a
listening to
tinfoil hat since my youth, so you know.
Well, gee, look at Jesse Ventura. He even had a program they called
Yeah.
Conspiracy
Oh
Theory,
man,
and
that
what was
was a
he?
pretty
He
good.
was in the government.
As soon as he came out of the military, it was all over for him. He got out of high school and went in the military, was going in proud, and then came out of that going, oh my gosh. He must have ran into the wrong groups, but I'm telling you, he figured it out real quick.
I get a kick out of the guy. I think he's funny too.
Yeah, he is funny.
There you go, Pappy. Did you see what Pappy said?
Hot cocoa. I love hot cocoa.
Mm.
Marshmallows.
Well, I don't know if it's any disinformation or good information, but from what I understand, lots happening this week. Yeah, it's only Monday, right? And,
Yep.
we can just keep praying. And if nothing happens,
Oh well.
Things can happen without us knowing about them.
Yep.
That's all I
every
ask people
day,
to bear in mind.
every
Yep.
day
It's
it
because
happens.
everybody's looking for some real loud shout out that the whole public can see, and that may not be what it is.
Yeah,
That may not be what it is at all.
probably not.
We won't know until
Right.
we know.
You know what's
So
interesting is when you go
I
back.
hate to see people get so down, being
I think I'm in
disappointed
a down
in
moment. It's been a
information
long
that
2
people have
years.
fed them.
That's for sure. And that's it's wearing on a lot of people.
It is where
Shep, where are you from?
I live in Washington State, but
Oh,
originally
okay.
I was from San Francisco.
Oh, it's so beautiful up there.
So I'm not sure
I've never
if you guys have ever heard me say this before, but I'm a newbie. Let's see. I'm a newbie being awake. I was asleep. I voted for the lefty side until
Oh.
yeah. See, but my true beliefs are conservative. I didn't realize it until after my mom passed away, and that was about a month after Trump won the first time. And
I'm sorry.
I like that the first time. I like how you slipped it in there.
right.
Yes.
That's the way I think of it.
You know.
Yeah. And then there was a I didn't come to the realization until one morning I woke up and I realized that Obama had been lying, and that yes, he was involved in the spying against a candidate, and that it was him
So much more.
behind everybody. And that was my first realization. And believe it or not, I broke down and I cried and cried and cried because I was an Obama supporter big time.
Well, honey,
Oh.
welcome to the fold. And you know, it goes
Oh.
beyond political lines at this point, and
Oh,
hopefully
absolutely.
more
Oh, yeah.
people,
Now, that was
Hopefully.
my first wake-up call. I've
right?
since that time, it's just been an eruption of things I've come to realize.
Shep, for
I
me,
will tell you,
yes.
politically though, my mother was correct this whole time.
Huh?
Shep, for me, my waking up was a few years back trying to research the Native American side of my family. My mother was an orphan, and they had
Wow.
told me about my uncles and stuff being in, my mom and two younger kids were in an orphanage, Catholic orphanage, and the older boys all were shipped out to some of those places they shipped all the Native American kids. And I started looking into my background a little bit and everything, and it led me onto the case against the Queen in Canada.
I was just
and
going to
the
ask you
children.
about that, Anna. Oh my goodness.
So, yeah, I haven't gotten a lot of research done on that for quite a while. I started out with trying to read my aunt's own little biography about being in the orphanage, and I have not gotten past the second page on that to this day. So
Wow, I bet that would be a
That's
fantastic read.
Because it's
Probably
incredible.
be like
I cry
reading the
every
Diary of
time.
Helen Keller.
I cry every time. I just can't get past the second page.
Oh.
oh my goodness.
Wow.
Hey,
I'm so
can I say
sorry that
something
you
real
found
quick?
that.
Yeah.
Okay, Barb, you're
Yes.
absolutely right. People that accept those dates get disappointed. And so these events may indeed happen, but probably if we know the dates, so does everybody else. Just a thought.
And that's the thing. When you were talking about 44, one of the things, I had a great uncle, and there was this military, I don't know if you call it a base. It wasn't like your ordinary base. There's a lot of hills and train tracks and things like that. And so everything was underground and it was top secret, supposedly. And he was like, so swear you never say a word. Nope, never said a word. But while 44 was in presidency, he exposed it. And I was like, are you kidding me? This was in like the huge newspapers even. And I said, well, there goes that. Enemy knows right where it is now. So we know that'll be a big target.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and this is the thing. All the disinformation out there, you know, with all the different manners of collecting information that the various governments of this known world have, right? Every
Yep.
country is collecting information and data on every person on the planet. So if you
Now
think
they
about
have better
that,
maps than we do.
it's almost a master plan that you are throwing all this disinformation and garbage out into the social media, and all these people are kind of fooled by it, and they're flooding the internet with all this information. So they're flooding all this information out to people, and a lot of people are believing it. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, well, you know, the agencies, right, are collecting the same information. And if enough people say it, how much is it for verification? I mean, it's a good
Definitely.
question, right?
Oh, that's a good point.
And That's what
Very
I've
good point.
said. Even on the small channels, I'm telling you, they're listening. You can
Oh,
you
Oh,
can
absolutely.
just
Oh yes,
absolutely.
Okay,
they're
I'm gonna
tell
tell
it.
you
listening.
guys something here. Here, I'm gonna let you guys in on a little tiny secret. My mom's dad, my grandpa Scott, was a Republican for the United States or for the state of Ohio, but he had to go up to the White House and Congress and to have his meetings. He was just a normal working guy. He didn't get paid, but he had to go up there and do that. And then he'd come down here to the Amish country and he'd get the Amish to vote Republican because with the farming, they would always get good subsidies and whatnot. But anyhow, when my mom was growing up, of course, she was a little girl like Raina right now, about 7 or 10 years old. He told the girls, don't talk on the phone about anything. They listen.
That's in the 50s.
And that's in the 50s.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
So
I had
that's coming
neighbors that
straight from my
listened in too because we had party lines.
and that's
I had
exactly
a
right.
party
He
line
said
at one
people
time
listen.
too. That's funny.
Me too.
And that's true. But it wasn't just that. They were recording. He knew that straight from the government that they were recording.
That's right.
Going
Wow.
through, which was another company at that time, but like the NSA or NSA, is that right?
Ooh.
Yeah, like them now. But it was another
Ooh,
company
ding,
at the
ding, ding,
time.
ding, ding, ding. Oh boy, a bell just
Yep.
went off in my head.
I like
My
listening
So,
to
and
you,
that's
Jeff and Heather, because you guys
oh my
come from
goodness.
a
well,
bigger
there's
picture standpoint than most anybody else. And I like listening
thank
to
you.
you for that reason.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I mean,
We try to
yeah.
connect all the
we
dots.
do have
I,
a little bit of information.
Hey.
It's not easy to prove, but there's some
Speaking
stuff
of-
that we have that just
Speaking
makes
of-
sense.
There's some new information that we have just garnered that I am super excited about. Can you hear my voice? Because I'm so excited about this. Are you guys ready? You're going to think
Yeah.
it doesn't deal with anything, but I promise you it
And
deals with
it-
everything.
And you have to just
And maybe
do
Robert,
research.
possibly Bonnie, would understand what I'm talking about here, but I know Robert will get me on this.
hi, Joseph.
There have been 5 rings found. 3 of them were found in Angkor Wat, which is in Thailand or Cambodia, I think. Okay. And they are proven to be Lemurian. They've had all the tests done on them. They have had all the sigils and all the stuff. And they think that Angkor Wat is a lost relic of the land of Lemuria from our ancient past. Likewise, 2 rings with Atlantean symbolism have been found in New South Wales, Australia. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but they have actually proven that the Egyptians got their knowledge from the Aboriginal First Peoples of Australia and took it back to Egypt.
It's just a theory.
No, they've proven
Well,
that actually. They've actually proven
we
that
did get that one?
scientifically. Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes, they have
that's
proven it.
amazing.
I may have missed that part.
They have dated the rocks, they've dated the symbols and the symbologies and all the stories, and they originate in Australia, which, by the way, if you look at really, really old maps, Australia is marked as the land connected to the bottom of South America that is no longer
Ah,
there. But
that
it was
makes sense.
called Australia. And that was there are tons of maps, 15th century and 16th century that show that. So I'm super
That's amazing.
excited because they also said that the Atlantean rings, the composites, this is the thing about these rings, okay? What makes all these so special is not their place of origin as much as the composition of these rings had titanium in them and coronium in them and elements that weren't found until late 17 or mid 1800s and weren't used in our metallurgical. I can't ever say the name, but you know, the art of metal making.
Yeah.
and composites. It wasn't even used in our metallurgy, whatever, until the 1900s. So it wasn't discovered until late 17 and mid 18, but wasn't used on record until the 1900s. So yeah, it's very fascinating because what we're looking into right now, Shep, is the stolen history, is the possible 1,000 years plus of history that they actually literally stole from us.
You know, there's the first chapter in that book I have, and it goes into the Anunnaki and how we were their slaves. Have you heard this before?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Yes, we have.
Okay,
Now.
and that I'll tell you, I'll just say it. The reason why I didn't want to read it. Yes, there's a lot of people out there that have a ton of information on this out there with all their different theories and all this.
Right.
But I just didn't want to get into a controversy about the Christian and the Jews and how religion was.
Would you like to learn
keep
about
us
that,
in
but
line.
through a Christian perspective?
Do we have your email?
Because I can point you in the direction to look at it from a biblical Christian perspective. If
Well,
you would
but
like
this,
that information.
well, I never finished reading the chapter because I couldn't wrap my mind around it. Because basically one of the things the author said was, I don't want to, I hate to burst Christians and non-Christians bubble, but you were created by the Anunnaki. And so I just can't wrap my mind around it. It doesn't connect for me.
I have to say something
Maybe
real quick.
sometime.
All right.
While you guys are
Go ahead,
talking
Anna.
about this, hey, my aunt was in the military and brought people into Cheyenne Mountain, top level people, and gave them tours and brought them around. She had things that she couldn't talk about, but I'm going to tell you what, I have boxes and boxes of stuff here that she's written about aliens.
Yeah.
And I haven't read them because I have had a hard time dabbling in it.
Can I give you
Can I
guys a
ask
different
you, Heather, can I ask
point
you
of
one
view?
thing? Agree
Yes.
or disagree? Do you agree or disagree? Did God create the Anunnaki, or however you pronounce them, and any other beings that may have created us? That's what I want to be.
We have one cosmic
Who knows?
creator, one divine creator. I do believe that. And I believe that, and this was what I was going to say, because right into you agree or not agree. And I can't give you a straight answer. I got to give you this answer. I'm sorry, Chad. Brenda.
Hi.
My answer is this. I believe there is one supreme creator, one divine being, essence, energy, source. I don't know what name you want to slap on it, but I believe that just as we are, and I'm going to give it to you in a way that you can, from a Christian standpoint, we are co-creators with God, right? That's what they say. We are co-creators with the divine.
Yes.
If we are co-creators with the divine, then aren't they as well?
Yes.
The
That makes
divine
sense.
has always, right, it's about balance of the duality. Right now, the negative is way overbearing on the positive, and there is an unbalance going on. If we are co-creators with our creator, then what makes you think he's not powerful enough to create something else in order to give us life? So for me, I don't have a problem with who genetically designed me. I still know I'm a creator gift. I know that the essence is inside of me, that I have that breath of God in me, right? We all feel that. We feel our souls. We know they're there. That's how we connect to others and to the creator. So for me, it's not a far leap, and I don't have a problem with who genetically created my skin sac because my soul is a fractal of God.
Thank you for articulating that. I could never have done that. So, thank you. It makes
I
so
know
much
the
sense
sad thing, I
that
didn't
way.
see you there,
I
dear.
just didn't want the backlash that I know I would have received if I put that out there in the very first thing I say to the public, you know? Like,
Yeah. Well,
so
a lot of people are scared to look at it
I
because
wanted
they
to
feel
be,
that
yes,
if
I
they
wanted
look
to
at
be accepted.
aliens, well, and this is what I say. And this is what I say. I mean, it's fine to have a religion, it's fine to have a faith, okay? But what you really need is your own connection to God, your own connection to Creator, your own correspondence, if you will, right? And that's
Right.
what every religion is supposed to teach, that you have that connection to God through, you know. So if you have that connection, you don't have to adhere as strongly to the doctrine. Now, I'm not saying don't follow your rules if that's how, you know, you feel you need to live, but I'm going to tell you this. Christ never taught by doctrine. He taught by example.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So think about that.
Well,
He didn't
personally,
follow
I've
the
not been
doctrine
to a
because
church
he,
ever. I mean, I went to
well,
Catholic school, and I think I went to Catholic church, and I haven't, you know, church is not my thing. I'm, you know,
it's
I
not
have a
mine
direct
either.
connection.
If see
Yeah.
in
I'm
some
not
of
a
the
Christian, but I put it out this way so people can understand, and they're not
Right.
scared to look into this, because people get the Bible confused with God. The Bible is not God.
Right.
And I understand that it's a representation of the Word of God, but that's as close as you're going to get me to say that, because man is diddled in the Bible a lot.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if you think about it, and it's not in a bad way, but you make it as like a comparison. All right, well, man-made computer, they break all the time. They don't live up to what your expectations are. So I'm not in a bad way. It's just you gotta.
That's for sure.
Men are men. We're all human.
You know, man makes it. It's going to break. There's nothing that's going to, you know,
What do
go
they say?
forever. So
To
you
err is
shouldn't-
human. To really foul things up, you need a computer.
Yeah. To err is human. Yeah, to really follow it up, you need a
Oh,
computer.
that's really good.
Yeah.
That's true.
Some of my computer people, when I was a technician, you know, they would like they didn't know anything about computers, and some they would ask, and I would just tell them, well, you know, a lot of people do know now, but a lot of don't know. You know, they don't know that it actually has what they call a processor in it. Well, that's the brain, you know, and then you have RAM. Well, that's just
The memory.
that's actually your yeah, it's the memory of your processor, and then you got your hard drive. Well, there you have a filing cabinet. It's like a ballroom. It holds all the people, holds all your files, you know, and then the ballroom accesses a file and brings it out and does something with it, and then he comes over here, make it on the screen, and then they understand what I'm trying to fix for them. But it's sometimes you got to really look at it, not just a computer, but life in general with how everything is. It's just because they says that. Well, break it down a little bit more.
Find a
See
practical
if it makes
application.
sense to you. If it doesn't make sense, ask questions and don't be afraid. It's not going to hurt. And I'm not, you know, I'm not trying to get off the beaten path. That's all.
Hello, John.
Well, thank you. I just want you guys to know that I really appreciate you, all of you. And wow,
Yeah.
that gives me something to pray about tonight, Heather. Thank you.
Heather has the best way with words.
Yes,
Way.
she sure does.
Well, I can find my way around them. Well, you know what got me?
Heather all day long.
What got me on words? What got me on words when I was younger? I was your typical little nerd girl, you know, straight A student, college prep, all that. And I'm not saying that to brag or anything at all. But I loved books. Books were my friends. And we had this really big, really old dictionary. And in this dictionary, I'd never seen another one like it, and I haven't seen another one since. But in this dictionary, it broke every single solitary word down to its origin, to its difference, what language it came from, and then I can cross-reference and look at it. For me, that was utterly brilliant, because then I saw how they changed language over the years. Now, this is me as a teenager, so that just snowballed for me, unfortunately, and for some people because they think I'm crazy. But it snowballed for me, and it got me, noticing words and things. When I started noticing that, it was, what else have they lied to us about? I've always been that kind of person that I ask questions. I ask questions, lots of questions, and they're not always comfortable questions. I was the kid that got my butt beat all the time for asking, well, why does it say us if we only have one God? Well, why does it do this if we only have this? Well, why does it say this and it's this? And I had a very good example of the difference between spirituality and religion as a child. And so I learned very quickly that there was a difference. And, all the rest of it just.
Have you ever?
And if they've lied to you about one thing, they've lied to you about other stuff too.
Have you ever listened to Charlie Freak? Because he talks a lot about the origins of language. And he's the only other one.
No, but everybody keeps recommending him to me, and I've not gotten over to BitChute yet to check him out, but I want to.
They're on YouTube.
Oh, are they? I keep getting BitChute link. I'll check him out.
Yeah,
Robert sent me a link of his he wants me to check out. I've been on the origins thing for quite some bit now.
Their lives are really long, but like 3-4 hours. But I don't sit through them that whole thing, but you can go back and forth, and yeah, he talks a lot about language. It's interesting.
Oh yeah.
You go, is that why? Oh,
the evolution of language. I mean, they've done it with our language. They've done it with our symbols. They've done it with everything over such a long period of time that
crazy.
They have almost successfully wiped the collective memory. Almost.
Yeah, they almost did it.
People would take some time and really, literally, if people would take some time and start learning history, go back, listen to these history channels. Well, not per se the channels, but listen to the ones that are talking the history right now on YouTube and find the good ones and just listen. Just take it in, see what they're talking about. Because if you really start adding the numbers up that they're talking about, some things just don't add up right.
I think
I don't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but that guy that Hawk had on a few times is so good. It's really interactive, and he's pointing at the screen. Trey, Trey. Oh man, that was really interesting. Can't remember the guy's name.
We saw him
have to go back.
Day.
Yeah, Robert just dropped the link in chat for Paul Wallace. He's wow.
Exactly.
He's got out 2 books right now, I think. Scars of Eden and Escaping Eden. Escaping Eden, I think, is the first one.
Eden. Yeah.
And the second one is about Scars of Eden, and it's about Genesis. And this man has
I was
going to
ask you if you've heard of Paradise Lost by Milton.
I have. As a matter of fact, I think I have it. I might own it.
I have the book from like 1900, 18 something.
Oh, wow. I would love to thumb through that.
That one.
I love old books.
Put it up
I have it.
Days.
I'm a nerd. I am such a nerd. I love old books, like that smell and the feel and how gentle you have to be with the pages.
It's really cool.
You guys, sorry, Bonnie. I did not mean
only
to.
8:45 here, but
Show
It's getting
tonight,
to be my bedtime lately since I'm fasting on any kind of vice that I may have had before. So, like I'm not smoking, so I got to go to
Right.
bed.
Oh, good.
I'm not
We understand
smoking.
It's
that.
not easy, but good. Keep it up. Not
Oh,
easy,
I
but keep it
will.
up. Good luck.
I'll,
Good luck, Shep.
about the what? 10th
Have a good
time
night.
I've quit. Thank you for having me on, Bonnie. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I enjoyed it. Have a good evening.
Thanks, you guys. Bye.
Thanks
you
for letting me
guys,
pick your brain.
everybody. Thank you,
All right.
Heather.
Bye.
Good
It
night.
was
Opened
great
my
talking to you.
eyes.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Hey, anytime. I love chatting about all kinds of stuff.
Hi,
Yes, you do.
Dorinda.
I'm so
Hello, how's everybody tonight?
Just fine.
Good.
Awesome. Sorry, Jeff, what'd you say? No, you're vibrating. You're warbling. Try it again.
Hi,
So what were you
Donna.
guys talking about earlier? I missed everything.
Let's see. We started out with all the hopium, I guess, and is what you'd call it. All the well, they're gone.
They'll be back.
Yeah, connection problems.
Yeah.
A
So
lot of people.
what kind of hopium you talking about?
Well, we weren't really talking about hopium. It's just how other people seem to be really stuck on the hope of all these things that you know
We
how
hope happens.
yeah, we hope happens, but we're not really counting on it.
Yeah.
Poor little Robert Z man, I guess he got upset what I said about Mr. T, that I'm not totally dependent on that, and he left.
Ah. Well, I hope he gets off his arse and does something real quick. Because I'm getting a little tired of the bullshit and I really want the movie to fucking end.
Yeah, I think we all do.
Anyway,
And
that was kind of rude and I kind of swore and I apologize.
I that was my thing was, if it was as people say it is with him, I'd be a little upset with him for letting it get this bad.
I know.
So, yeah.
Like, I can't wait for that little runt down in Ottawa to be arrested.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he's already gone because it's not the same guy as it used to be. So, we'll see.
Huh. I don't know. And something is supposed to happen in Dallas tomorrow, and
Well, it was supposed to happen today. The Four Kings were supposed to come out tonight after 11, but it's not going to be televised.
well, I'm not talking about a channel telling me this.
Sorry.
It was I don't know how I found out that there was going to be a big thing in Dallas, probably through one of my Facebook groups.
Oh.
But I cannot remember what the event was. I actually thought that Mr. T was going to be at this event. And in listening to people tonight, I'm finding out I think I'm wrong. And so I really don't know what it's all about. But I know that RSBN network is there.
Oh, yeah.
And
I only saw, what the hell's his name? Penny?
yeah.
So I watched him for a little bit, and then I went on Angels, and Angel had it on. But you know, it's like, yeah, we're gonna do the four kings tonight, but it's not gonna be shown. We'll show that tomorrow. Well, that's not the point.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna
Who's
show
making
who
pumpkin
they
bread?
are, then show who they are, man. I think you're a
Exactly.
farce. I don't know who he is. I never watched the guy ever till tonight. And I thought he was a bit of a dick, but that's just my personal opinion. I don't know anything about him.
I haven't
He
ever watched
might
him.
be a really good guy. I don't know. But
Uh-oh.
I don't even.
Is that us?
I think so.
are you back?
Do you see John about you Canadians?
Yeah, I saw that.
That's cute.
Yeah, that's kind of what we do, John. Good night, John.
Good night, John. Thank you for coming. Bye. Coming by. I learned last night to watch my words.
You had a good show last night. I watched it today.
Oh, I was totally embarrassed. Sweet Shane.
Did he come up tonight?
No, I think Mike asked him to stick around. They're having a powwow.
Ah.
So.
Anna Marie, I was talking about Trudeau. That's who I was talking about. And then I was talking about Trump, so I don't know exactly who you're talking about. I'm pretty sure, Bonnie, you were fine last night. You had nothing to apologize for. You didn't screw up your words. You were very good. You always.
Well, that just flew right over my head.
you always
and we appreciate it.
very well, even if you're pissed off.
Thank you. I think I don't know. Sometimes I think I need to go off like you, and I have. My kids have heard me, and they know when I get to that point, they better run because that doesn't happen often.
My kids know that. All of my kids, even as a lunch lady, they knew if Dorinda was pissed off, stay the hell away. Unless you needed a hug, and then Dorinda was always willing to give a hug. But yeah, I blow up all the time because that's my nature. Because if I don't put it out, then it eats at me, and I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. Fuck you. It just spurts out now, even when I don't want it to. That's like at work. The computers are acting up. I've just gotten to the point where I call the computers dickheads. It's being a dick. I'm not swearing. I'm being very polite when I'm calling them dickheads. And the customers kind of laugh and they think it's okay. So I'm good with that. And you can take me off the big screen now. You can come back, Bonnie. Oh, she disappeared. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? I could use some help up here, but I can't let you in because I don't know how. Okay, everybody in chat. How was your day? I hope it was great. Please talk to me. I agree, Victor. We need to trust God. It's all on God's plan. But I wish God would just kind of get off his ass, we're going to say, and do something. We really could use something done, right? Am I correct? Oh. Okay, what can we talk about now? Give me some hints in chat. Okay, what can we talk about now? Give me some hints in chat.
You did very good.
I was gonna dance too, but just kind of dancing because I'm
I
not
saw
standing
that.
up. That is true, Victor. It's his time, not ours. But I just
My
wish it would
poor
hurry up.
granddaughter. We share a room. Every time she goes to plug in her charger, she bumps the cord for the what do you call that dang thing? The router. And so it knocks me off, and I'm like, she saw, I'm so sorry. And I said, I'm on a live. Uh-oh. That's okay. Dorinda's got this. But then when I saw you dancing, I was like, oh, I got to hear what she's saying. So I got it on my phone.
I was just having a little chat here. I was having a chat about God and how God should get off his ass and do something because we're kind of tired of this crap. And yes, I know it's on God's time, but you're gonna have to bring your fart buster blaster up next time you come on, Anna. We gotta have the farts, okay? We gotta have the farts. That's okay. I was on somebody's show earlier. I can't even remember whose it was now. And I'm sitting there and I'm in the back. Oh, I'm in Angels. Okay. I'm in the background. I'm not paying attention. Do I not just all of a sudden go to breathe and let out this great big belch? And of course, I'm not muted. So I'm like, sorry, folks. I apologize. That just came out of nowhere. And all their comments was, it's better out than in. Yes, thank you. Like, holy crap.
Better that than bellyache.
You never know what's going to happen when Dorinda's around. That's just the way life is.
This is true.
Yeah, and you never know what's actually going to come out of the mouth because it's got a mind of its own.
I've had a brain fart all day, Anna Marie. It wasn't too bad at our neck of the woods today, but then it just went downhill from there. But it had me laughing all day.
Awesome.
All those comments. And then I rewatched Gigi because I wanted to see what that guy was about. And I was like, yeah, that thing was evil, pure evil.
Yes.
Whatever it was.
Yes. And like I said, I didn't know if she booted him or he just disappeared. But I was really glad when he disappeared.
Yeah. It was like when I came up, he was gone. It was
I don't think he liked the conversation.
Well,
because we were trying to keep it up.
Well, we didn't like his conversation.
And we weren't going into his deep, dark crap.
Uh-uh.
Uh-uh.
Okay,
Chunky
Victor.
burps or lumpy farts? Hard choice. I'm not sure which one of those I would prefer either, Pappy Two Bears.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
that guy was really, really weird on GG's the other night.
yeah.
Especially when he started talking about when he was younger and killed whatever the hell he killed. Chickens, whatever. I don't know what the hell it was. That was just bizarre.
That's yes. But that's where he started. And I was
Yeah,
like,
that's what he said. That's where I started.
you're not being an ass, Victor. I understand. The more you talk about it, the more you feed into it. I got it.
Yeah, we gotta stay with the positive and go with that.
Yes.
And
So how's your
let your light shine.
yep.
Just
And
shine.
here comes our shining light. Pappy,
Hey,
how are you?
Pappy.
How you doing? You hear me okay?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Yes.
Okay. Just thought I'd jump in here and just make a little comment about what you were talking about last night. Um, the people out there that are spreading the light and they're trying to keep the light lit, you're going to be getting probed by these things. This is the time that we're in. Fully
Yeah,
expect it.
yeah,
Okay. Uh, Especially with some of the people that have been in our circle for a while that are going through their own subjective changes within themselves and trying to figure out where they want to go. Um, some of these things out there are going to ride right in and piggyback with them, and they'll come to the inside like that. So just be wary,
yep.
because it's going to happen. Expect it to happen.
But that was a
Okay.
new guy.
Yes.
He'd never been he'd never been on chat before.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that the circumstances were right. If you take a look at the fact that
Right.
there's no real moderation going on. Okay, and there's no vetting process, on the newer channels, because we're just so interested in interacting with people that sometimes it takes something like that to increase our awareness that security is a real concern. Even something as mundane as just a little chat get together with 5, 6, 10 people.
Yep,
These things will attack where they think it's weakest.
yep,
And when they meet resistance, they'll back off pretty quick. But you've got to consider it from a tactical point of view. Sometimes we're being probed to find out exactly what our strengths and our weaknesses are. Okay. Having known that's happened here, you've already put together the things that you need to do. Keep that energy high and it rejects it. It just goes away from it. So y'all did a great job.
thank you. We
Thank you.
tried. But he was
I'm going to
starting
jump.
to he was
I'm
starting
going
to
to
freak
jump
me
back down
out.
off here because I'm taking up my wife's broadband with the Wi-Fi, so I'll be listening.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Pappy.
Yeah, no, that guy just sort of came out of nowhere last night. He had never been in chat before on any of Gigi's shows. His name was not
Yeah.
familiar at all.
Mm-mm.
I think he was a troll, but that's okay. We handled him good because he left,
Yep.
and we liked it. We liked it. So, are you going to see your mom tomorrow?
Sorry, I was taking a drink. Hopefully, I'm not sure. Um, We got a lot to do tomorrow.
Ah,
So,
okay.
but I'm going to try and get out there.
Okay.
I did send my brother what he needs to check, and we'll see if he does it or not.
Probably won't because it came from you.
Oh, I
Did
know.
I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
Well, and that's I. When I called out there tonight, I said, "Okay, I've heard this from 3 electricians now that this is what needs to be done," and they're like, "And why do you think this needs to be done?" well, let's see, 30 years and never been touched. Can it just be done and not argue? Just do it.
Check it. Like, come on, don't be stupid. Just check it.
Right. It's
But
just little lugs in the
sometimes
breaker box.
if it's not a man's idea, then they're not. If it comes from a woman, I'm being sarcastic, sort of. Sort of.
Well, I understand.
But if it comes from a woman, they don't always listen. And if they think that you're on a different wavelength than them, anything you say, they're going to ignore.
Yep.
Right? And I'm not just talking about what we think normally. I'm talking because they know we think that way, then they're not going to listen.
Yeah. Yeah. And even my mom, she's like,
See you, Barb.
or she'll go with my brother.
Pardon?
Good night, Barb. Thank you for coming by. Yeah, I think Gigi's going on tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I think she said.
I clicked on it and I'm sitting there and I'm waiting and I'm all excited. And then I read the small print. Oh, damn it.
I know. She does that all the time.
I'm like, crap. So I went over to Angels for a bit because I was bored with, well, I wasn't really bored with Liberty. I was listening, but I kind of left anyway. Actually, I think it's on pause. Yeah, I think it's still on my screen. Yeah, I didn't pause it, but it's still there for me to watch tomorrow.
Well, that's what it sounds like. Everybody's staying up for something.
Yeah,
And I don't know if they're going by Dallas time. So if they are, that's my time. And it's 11 o'clock, 11:09. Well, my roof hasn't fallen in yet. Knock on wood. Lord.
Are you having bad weather there tonight?
No.
No.
It's just, I don't know what's supposed to happen after 11.
Oh, well, that was when Mike Penny was supposed to reveal the 4 kings or whatever. And then he said, well, it won't be released till tomorrow because we're not going to show it tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that was what it was supposed to be. As far as I know, I don't know what's going on in Dallas. I had other people in the first part of Liberty saying, well, there's nothing going on in Dallas. I live here. And then on Angels, they saw things that were going on in Dallas tonight. So I'm like, okay, I don't have a clue what's going on now.
Jeff and Heather are having troubles. They're trying to get back in, but having troubles.
Anna Marie says anyone with half a bit of common sense would realize that electrical sockets and breakers can become weak. Going back to the date they were installed, we use more devices than they were set up to use. But you said that she had like a lightning strike or something, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so that would fuck everything up. And why
I know this.
why he doesn't understand that, hey, the electrical struck the house, or the lightning struck the house, or the electrical cords, or
something.
whatever. I don't understand why
Yeah.
he doesn't understand that there might be an issue. But like I said, because you think the way you think and he thinks the way he thinks, and they're not coinciding, he's not going to listen to anything you say.
No, he never
Right?
does.
Like, I'm just trying to be honest and respectful. I'm not saying he doesn't listen or he doesn't like you or whatever. He's being a guy. Sorry. That's the
Am
easiest
I
way I
echoing?
can explain it.
I don't know why I would be echoing. I don't know. But
Pardon?
yeah, he's an engineer. So
Mhm.
he's used to bossing around all these people and so and it's kind of hard to be the big sister when he's about 2 feet taller than you now.
Mm-hmm. But you need to
So-
say, hey, look it, I'm your big sister. I know we don't politically stand on the same side, but the house was hit
Oh,
with
we
lightning.
do politically.
The house was hit with lightning. I think there's a problem with the electrical. Could you please get an electrician out here to look at the electrical so that mom will be safe? Put it as making mom safe, and he might think more along those lines.
And I did. I said, okay, I just want to make sure the daggum house doesn't burn down. And he said, and if it does, it'll be on me. And I said, okay, if you want to take that blame, it's yours. And I said, I got to go now. Love y'all. Bye. Click.
Oh my God. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
He's just stubborn. And yes, I'm watching the windows. Pappy's worried about your windows behind you. Does that go straight out?
That's behind me. That goes into my living room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, the windows in front of me are in front of the computer screen, so you can't. And there's a curtain there, you can't see out.
It's good.
My former boyfriend had a lightning strike a half a block away and had to replace surge protectors, computer, TV, water softener, breakers, and some wiring. That's what Anna
Yeah.
says.
I believe it. And that's what he asked me. He's like, what makes you think something's wrong? And I said, well, let's see. All of the plugs, I can't remember what you call it with the little buttons.
Yeah, the surge protectors,
GSI, yeah, something.
UBGs, I don't know, whatever the initials are.
Yeah. Some of those letters. And so they had all been triggered. So the refrigerator was off, the freezer was off, lost all their food, and the phones wouldn't work, the TV wouldn't work, the internet wouldn't work. So, and the travel trailer won't work. Well, that tells me something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you reset those things and the refrigerator and freezer are working now doesn't mean that fixed the problem.
Yep.
I would I wouldn't think. And
Okay, I have a
so,
question for you, Bonnie. I'm sorry. Victor
okay,
says, Bonnie, does he FGIS? What the hell does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay,
He's too
Victor, what does
Californian.
FGIS stand for? Because we're all stupid tonight and our brains having a fart. I know I'm trying to make up letter or words with the FGIS and I've got fucking going insane. I'm not sure if that's what he's meaning, but that's what I'm getting from the initials. So hey, what the hell? Oh, I meant FGI plugs. Okay. They're called FGI plugs. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Tatum's enjoying you.
No, Pappy Two Bears has a comment too, so.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just knowing that for sure for the past 5 years, they haven't been able to do anything around the house to maintain it. And so I know nothing's been touched forever.
Mm.
And they were both in the hospital. Had they have been at the house, it probably would have been a lot different because it probably would have scared them. But since they weren't there and we took care of it before they got home, they didn't see any problem except for the TV and the telephones and the internet. But so my mom just called each one of them, and each one of them came and did their thing, and she's all, everything's working now, so it's fine. Okay. But she said the telephone guy told her that he thought there was a short somewhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I think, Victor. Because I know when my cousin tried to turn on to reset the server in the travel trailer, there was a blue arc. Well, my son used to climb electric poles and mess with those transformers, and I know what a blue arc means.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not good.
Mm-mm. Victor says the breakers probably got shot. Joseph says
Yeah.
bingo pap. He also says capital GMTA. I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
Good morning to all. I
That's a
don't
nice
know.
one.
I'm guessing. You might need to rewire, says Joseph.
Yeah. And that's why I told her to call the home insurance, because I figured they would send out an electrician. And then she said, no, I have to get an electrician to check it. And then they'll be here at the same time as the electrician. Okay. Well, then my brother came and all that came to a halt. So that's what happened there. He leaves next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow.
Mhm.
Yes, I'm counting down the days. But
Yeah, I can
actually,
imagine.
he's getting stuff done out there. So, except for that, he's cleaning and
Yeah.
throwing away.
Well, you still need to check the wiring, man.
Yeah. Very true, Anna.
Like, it won't replace anything that's lost. And if the parents are lost, that's going to just kill them.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of what you're thinking. And he's not thinking like that.
Well, that's why I'm going to send an electrician out there and I'm going to get this taken care of, whether they like it or not. And because even my mom, she's on a pacemaker with a defib.
Mm-hmm.
That little machine didn't go out is a miracle.
Miracle.
And yeah. So
I was watching over her that day.
yeah. Mickey Mouse job.
Well, I'm stepping down because I'm going to bed. You have a good
All
night, Bonnie. And
right.
I hope someone else comes to join you.
Well, I was gonna go ahead and probably shut it down. Kind
Are
of
ya?
tired after last night too, and
All right.
I'm
Well,
sure everybody else is getting there.
you have a good night. Have a good sleep.
You too.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for coming up.
No
I
problem.
enjoyed
I
it.
love you, girl. Good night.
Take care. Love you too. Bye bye. Well, guys, y'all take care. Thank you for coming in, and hope to see you tomorrow night at Gigi's. She says she's going on. We'll see what happens. Love you all. Sweet dreams. Good night.